DORC investigators had cleared the infirmary and turned to raking Officer Coughlin and his co-workers over the coals as a biohazard team decontaminated the classroom. Like these kids have never seen blood before, Jack said. He had no idea where the 14 to 15-year-old classes would be held that day, but knew the staff would figure something out. The last thing they wanted was a group of teenagers with nothing to do. He wondered how they kept the kids busy over the weekends. The receptionist escorted them to one of the small conference rooms tucked into a corner of the second-floor visiting area to meet Dr. Jerome Bellamy. The door was closed, so she asked them to take a seat in a row of cushioned seats next to a small boy of perhaps 6 with smooth black skin and toddler pudgy legs, which swung free over the floor. He glanced up at the men without concern. Jack sat. "What are you in for?" he asked the boy, which probably violated HIPAA somehow, but he didn't plan to worry about it. Certainly the boy didn't mind. "I bit my brother." "Really? And they incarcerated 6-year-olds for that?" Jack had no clue how to respond. "Well, every kid does that. You shouldn't hurt your siblings, young man. Next time, make sure he's in no shape to tattle on you?" The boy didn't mind talking about it, however. "He deserved it, though. That's what I keep telling Dr. Bellamy." "Okay. Why did your brother deserve it?" "He ate my Lego." Jack tried not to laugh. "Ah, how old is your brother?" This represented a tough question, and the kid screwed up his face as he worked out the answer. "I think he's almost 1. He can't walk or nothing. And now he don't eat Legos no more. See?" He turned up a sly but visually adorable face to Jack's. So his justified abuse of an infant had really turned out to be for the infant's own good. But even a 6-year-old ought to understand a baby's lack of understanding, and Jack realized that this very small boy had already mastered the art of spin. He no longer felt like laughing. Ms. Cooper, from the under-12 group, arrived to escort the boy back just as Dr. Jerome Bellamy opened the door. He did not resemble a therapist the way Melanie Szabo and the hapless young man in the under-12 area did. Bellamy had perfectly cut blonde hair and a suit that made Jack feel dowdy. He shook their hands with manicured fingers and smelled of something expensive. They were lucky to have caught him, he said. He only stopped in at the center twice per week. "You're not on staff here?" Riley asked as they took seats around the tiny round table. Jack knew space and privacy were at a premium in the building, but he wished all the spaces didn't seem so child-sized. Claustrophobia set in as soon as Bellamy closed the door. No windows and, it seemed, little air. "No, I'm in private practice, serving those whose parents can afford me." He spoke matter-of-factly, managing not to sound as annoying as he could have. The tight quarters didn't seem to bother him. Daryl and that short tyrant you may have seen leaving were the only 2 boys. I've got 1 girl I'm taking over for our resident flower child. It's too bad about Daryl, but... "But?" Jack asked. Not surprising. "I'm pretty good at my job, but I can only do so much. The younger they are, the easier it is to turn them around, and that's the whole idea here. They're not evil. They're not bad seeds. They're kids who started down a wrong path and no one stopped them. So they kept going. But convincing them to get off that path gets harder the farther down it they are. Dr. Palmer says intervention needs to start in the womb." He leaned back in his chair, as relaxed as if it were a bar stool at his favorite pub. "Dr. Palmer's drunk the self-esteem Kool-Aid. It's the MacGuffin these days, and yes, it's something to work on when you have a kid whose parents told him he sucked every day since birth. But even with not great parents, let me tell you something about the self-esteem of the average baby, toddler, school kid. It's pretty darn good. They have the time and freedom to devote themselves entirely to their own causes. Bobby didn't steal from the corner store because he feels worthless or because he wants attention from Daddy. He stole because he wanted something and didn't have the money to pay for it. It benefited him. Children do things that benefit them. All we do when we say they need more self-esteem, or they need more love, or they need more attention, is provide excuses to kids who are pretty good at thinking up excuses already. Riley said,